Alright, guys, let's do
And
this.
new games of March 2024. Starting off with number 10, it's WWE 2K24. So,
Oh man, I WWE is like uh childhood favorite game of mine. I played SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain way back in the PS2 era. I um I would like to be playing the WWE games again, and oh man, I do love some good old video game violence and stuff. So like WWE and stuff.
the last few years, WWE 2K
Oh man, the Hulk and the John
has
Cena.
really kind of had to do a lot in terms of reputation fixing, and for the most part, it kind of culminated
I haven't kept up with WWE in so long, so I don't know any of these actors.
last year with 2K23, which is a great game. From everything I've seen about 2K24, it looks like it builds on 2K23 in a meaningful way. It doesn't necessarily overhaul anything about
Ah, what the fuck? Referee just hit that
the
guy.
controls, and that's good because it's not what I would like them to do. When you get it right, don't mess it up. But in terms of roster types of matches, it looks like they're attempting to have a pretty expanded, well worth it offering here. And I mean, it's what I want to see. A highly realistic looking game that combines a lot of the fun, sort of spectacle oriented stuff with a little bit of simulation, not a lot. Honestly, they got it right last year. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table this year. WWE 2K24 is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC March 8th.
That looks like fun. I might play it when it goes on sale or something.
And number 9 is Horizon Forbidden.
This is a PlayStation game. I don't have a PlayStation game console to play this on, so we're skipping.
And number 8 is Alone in the Dark, a remake that looks very much like it is taking the Resident Evil approach, which is a
Oh well, I think I've been hearing bits and pieces of this game, like, but that's really cool. I would like to play a horror style game
appropriate because it
like
inspired
this.
Resident Evil. Resident Evil is basically an Alone in the Dark
Wow, look at the graphics and everything. That was so creepy.
clone in a lot of ways. I mean, not entirely, of course, it's very different in a lot of other ways. But them taking this approach is, in my opinion, the absolute correct approach. This is a full
Oh wow, look at that. It's like that looks gross.
remake of the original 1992 Alone in the Dark, and I think it's going to give us a pretty
I would love to play Resident Evil and this game.
good idea of what a full Resident Evil recent remakes version of the original Resident Evil would look like. Apparently, the original creator of Alone in the Dark, Frederick Reynal, said that he thinks that the remake preserves the core feeling of the original game, which is pretty exciting to hear
Yeah, I love the visuals of this game. I would definitely play it.
because the original game's just really unique. Even though it did absolutely inspire, like, basically the survival horror genre. Not single-handedly, of course, but, I mean, you'll find a lot of that genre in the original game. I'm excited. I'm very excited. If this works out good, then there's another series that should have been going this whole time, but keeps getting shot in the foot by people who suck at making games, making sequels to it, and keep preventing it from getting back up off the ground. This could be Alone in the Dark being back. I'm kind of hoping. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series on March 20th.
Yeah, that looks great.
And number 7 is Princess Peach Show.
Nintendo game, never mind, skipping.
Number 6 is The Outlast Trials, a game I wasn't really expecting.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I've been needing to play the last two Outlast games, so might as well go for it.
thing to be particularly interesting because this was announced a long time ago. I mean, 2019 doesn't sound like a long time ago, but that's 5 years ago. This is a game that we've talked about quite a few times, honestly, and it's not like a full-blown sequel to Outlast. In fact, it kind of puts the whole thing into a sort of a multiplayer situation, which I think isn't a bad idea. It's 4 player
Oh, that's cool. There's a full-player cooperative. I wouldn't mind trying this.
cooperative multiplayer. If you do want to play it solo, I mean, you can still do that. It's still a game that is possible to play single player. But I have a feeling, as with most games designed this
The graphics look really cool.
way, it's probably better multiplayer. I don't know. You got night vision goggles. You got some various items to have in your inventory, from lockpicks to
Yeah, that was really great.
various drugs, and you can't fight enemies. That's Outlast, more or less. It's
That does sound like something that I'd be interested in
a
playing.
stealth game. These are sometimes pretty weird stealth games, but at the same time, they're also usually pretty good. I'm interested to see if it works as a multiplayer co-op. That's kind of my wait and see with this one. And if it does, I mean, great. The Outlast Trials is landing on May 18th on the PlayStation's, Xboxes, and PC.
That this game looks like a lot of fun that I should probably try out.
And number 5 is MLB The Show 24. So interesting.
So I've been meaning to play more of the sports games because as an achievement hunter, the online multiplayer thing seems to have like a 2 year length of like from when the game launches and the servers shut down. So I should probably play more of these games.
Interestingly enough, last year's MLB The Show kind of introduced itself as a multi-platform baseball museum, and yeah, now we're kind of getting season 2 of that. The real Negro Leagues Baseball Museum curator, Bob Kendrick, returns as the narrator this year, something I didn't know about
I'm not too into sports, but hey, it'd be fun to try this.
him was apparently that they don't script anything he says in these games. He just shows up and talks, and that's it. That's
That sounds like that sounds pretty good. And yeah,
how it works, which is pretty impressive because there's a lot of information and it's presented compellingly. But that's not why you play a baseball game. You play it because it's a good game. And, last year's was, this year's probably also will be. It's continuing where last year's left off, and I'm excited to see where it takes the series. MLB The Show 24 is landing on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC on March 29th.
I might give this game a try.
And number 4 is Open Roads, a sort of interesting title. It's being regarded as an interactive movie. I've seen that said in multiple different places. It's a mystery thriller and a road trip movie, and of course it's interactive. It's brought to us by Annapurna Interactive, which has brought us some pretty good titles in the past. Stray is a standout. Another, the Heart
I would love to try Stray one of these
Machine,
days.
Hyper Light Drifter follow-up, Solar Ash, Outer Wilds as well. I mean, this is a Fulbright game in everything but name, which, between Gone Home and Tacoma, you have, depending on your taste, 2 great games, 2 very different games, 1 bad game, 1 good game. I personally prefer Tacoma. I don't really love Gone Home a whole lot. It's kind of not got enough going on in it for me. But Tacoma's really just a phenomenal adventure game with a really rich story. I fully expect Open Roads to be interesting, although it is kind of a wait and see for me.
Yeah, I might give this a
If I'm
try.
completely honest, the words interactive movie scare the hell out of me, if I'm completely honest. I hope that it shows that that's a format that can work. We'll see. Open Roads is landing on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC March 28th. And number 3 is South Park
Oh man, sounds like
Snow
fun.
Day. I don't know what the hell this is. I mean, I know what it is. It's
I love the previous 2 South Park games with all the jokes and every and the everything. Like South Park always is a fun game.
a co-op action game of some kind. But I'm not going to lie, although it looks cool, The gameplay looks snappy, but we have been given precious little information about this game. But, I mean, it's South Park. It's a game that has come out post Stick of Truth, which means there's a certain level of quality control involving Matt Stone and Trey Parker themselves. And just to be frank, that's enough for me to want
Yeah, I love it. I'm liking the visual styles of this game. It looks like fun.
to play this game without knowing a hell of a lot about it other than it looks like a pretty fun co-op action game. The fact that they haven't said really a lot about it does concern me a little, though. It does make me wonder, well, why aren't you saying a lot about it? That being said, I mean, we'll see. It's not exactly an expensive game. This one's clocking in at $30. But I gotta say, I really do like how they have made the characters through
Yeah, I like this style. It's gonna be different from the past two games, but we'll see.
3D. They look like South Park. They don't look like South Park drawn onto 3D stuff. And similarly, you can tell they're 3D. They're very intentionally made to look 3D, but it doesn't look like a departure. And I really like that. Games before
I hope they keep the edge that the previous two games had.
Stick of Truth always really struggled with what they looked like. On the Nintendo 64, the South Park game looked like total ass. The couple of attempts in between looked like Shockwave Flash and not really like South Park, because South Park doesn't really look like Shockwave Flash. But this is a really interesting take on the style, and it looks correct. You know? Anyway, South Park Snow Days coming out on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC March 26th.
I'll definitely be giving this game a try.
And number 2 is Rise of the Ronin, Team Ninja's foray
This is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Let's skip it.
to the long-awaited sequel to Dragon's Dogma, the cult classic, which... And finally, at number 1, it's Dragon's Dogma 2, the long...
Oh man, I've been waiting for this sequel. Oh my god. Dragon's Dogma 1 was fucking awesome. It's my favorite Eastern RPG ever.
awaited sequel to Dragon's Dogma, the cult classic, which over time just gained more and more of a
Look at those visuals, man.
fervent, dedicated fan base, because there's just nothing else really like it. It's kind of like Monster Hunter, but kind
It's like Monster Hunter mixed with a little bit of Dark Souls.
of not. You got all these weird non-playable characters called pawns that have to do with your party. They're AI controlled.
And the pawns are really stupid. Hopefully, in this sequel, they are building more, better programmed and stuff.
etc. This game looks like a much bigger, much better, hopefully much less buggy version of that idea. It's set in a big old open world, 4 times bigger than the original game, and includes a lot of ideas that they wanted to do in the first, but
I'm really loving the trailers and stuff of this game.
they couldn't because of technological limitations. That, to me, that's more than enough to get me excited. Like, my foot was already in the door. I didn't need it there. You don't need to convince me to play Dragon Dogma 2, but I'm
Oh my god, look at all the monsters we're gonna be fighting in this game.
excited. It's a Resident Evil engine title, so you know it's going to look good, too. Like, everything we've seen of it looks really, really nice. And it's coming to the PlayStation, Xbox Series, and PC March 22nd.
Yeah, I can't fucking wait for this game.
Outpost Infinity Siege.
That's just a PC game. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. I just wanted to try something different. Anyway, bye for now.